President Trump, let's talk about this one, says he's working to free rapper A$AP Rocky from a jail in Sweden after First Lady Melania alerted him to the case. Now, in a tweet, the president said, quote, "Just spoke to Kanye West about his friend A$AP Rocky's incarceration. I'll be calling the very talented Prime Minister of Sweden to see what we can do about helping A$AP Rocky. So many people would like to see this quickly resolved." Now, the president says the case is important to the African American community. Listen to this.
Many members of the African American community have called me, friends of mine, and said, could you help? So I personally don't know A$AP Rocky, but I can tell you that he has tremendous support from the African American community in this country.
All right, Joey, why is he in trouble, first of all, in Sweden, for people who might not know? And what kind of leverage does the president really have in this case?
You know, I think in terms of leverage, of course, the president of the United States, no matter who's sitting in that chair, has significant leverage, right? We're the most tremendous country in the world. And so that's important. I think the intervention of the State Department will be helpful. In terms of why he's in trouble, it involves a drug case, apparently possessing drugs. It involves an assault. The issue is, though, if you look at the videotape, that he's assaulted first, and it's deemed to be a miscarriage of justice, particularly when a white rapper, under very similar circumstances, was charged and then released 2 days later with a slap on the wrist for things that were much more egregious than A$AP Rocky. And so I think the intervention is proper. I think it'll carry great weight. And it's not only important to the black community, it's important to justice, and it should be important to us all. So hopefully he gets released and the State Department does the right thing, and certainly Sweden does the right thing in meting out justice evenly amongst all people, black, white, or otherwise.
Tensions are soaring between Iran and the West, and the UK's emergency response team is meeting today after Iran captured a British-flagged oil tanker in the critical shipping area of the Strait of Hormuz. There you see new video of the moment that the tanker was seized by Iran's Navy. Britain is warning that there will be, quote, serious consequences if Iran does not release the ship. Now, earlier this month, Britain seized an Iranian ship it said was involved in oil smuggling, and then just days ago, the U.S. claimed it destroyed an Iranian drone in the same area. You pointed out that Iran has a long history of an eye for an eye in its foreign relations, and I'm wondering, is that what you believe is going on here now?
Yes, it is. I think Iranians are determined to show that they're not going to be cowed by President Trump's maximum pressure, and that they want to show force, they want to show strength, and also they want to use these kinds of confrontational tactics in order to back off further pressure from the United States and the Europeans. And with the British, they viewed the capture of their tanker as being done at the behest of Washington and not justified based on European sanctions rules, and therefore they are retaliating in kind with Britain.
Right. In other words, that this is not an escalation so much as they're just saying, well, you took one of our ships, now we'll take one of yours, correct?
Correct. And also they want to say, don't think that we're weak. Don't assume that you can keep pressing us because we're going to hit back, and you have to be prepared to assume the cost.
Hundreds of people get sick every year from foods that are recalled. Many times you hear that the Food and Drug Administration recalled certain foods, but usually that's not the case. Only rarely does the FDA do a recall. Usually it's the company on its own that does the recall. Sometimes a food recall is done because health authorities know that that food has gotten someone sick. Other times it's done because an inspector at a plant has noticed that something wasn't done quite right and they want to prevent people from getting sick. When a food's been recalled, you can just throw it out, or you can take it back to the place where you bought it and they should give you a refund. If you're wondering if a food in your kitchen has been recalled, the FDA has a list on its website. If you're worried that you found out about a recall after you ate the food, don't panic. Often recalls are done just as precautionary measures.